Test. Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2. We are live. Oh, brother, it's on. Peace to the family, peace to my comrades, and it's always smoke to the COINTEL Pro boxing fan. We in there now. Oh yeah. Man, it has been a week. Shout out to Patrice X. Shout out to Jose Diaz. All my brothers that helped me out on this journey. We got the webcam working. We have the microphone working. Yeah, everything's good. I'm using the OBS software. Everything's good. As long as you all can hear me, I can hear myself. I sound good. I feel good. The only thing I have to do left is I have to go into my notifications on my laptop and remove the pop-up blockers that have been keeping my lives from going out. But that's nothing compared to what we've been doing this week. Went and got the microphone, went and got a new laptop, webcam, got some nice software so I can play the slideshows while I'm talking. So family, we in it to win it now. We are in it to win it now. Shout out to the family. Everyone, every single person that helped me out along this journey. Hold on, family. I'm going to turn something up real quick in my headphones. Some of that good piano playing keeps my mind right. So the only reason why I think it is my laptop right now is because when I go mobile on my phone, I don't have any problems. I get 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 views from my mobile lives. So some of the experts in the micro center, they said, hey, you need to check your old laptop and see if you had your, those blockers on your laptop. And I did. So I'm gonna try it out. It's real easy to figure out. Once I, make that switch, as soon as I go live the next time, I'll be able to tell. Because if I was live right now on my mobile device, we'd have 50, 60 people in here already. So, but I'm going to fix that tomorrow, family. I just want to let every single one of you know that helped me, because I know it's just a family in here right now. All of you that helped me, I really do appreciate it. I really do. Lives are about to be a lot different now. A lot different. Yeah, appreciate you, Patrice X. I saw your message. That's the next thing I'm going to do. But I spent so much money this week, man. I'll probably do that next month. That and get the soundboard. Saw a nice soundboard, $99. And once I hook the soundboard up, it's going to be a problem. But this isn't going to be a long live. I really just wanted to get a good connection, get familiar with using the OBS and the laptop. Everything's working good. So this is what has been on my mind since I've been listening to the piano playing, vibing out. I'm starting to realize that the celebration is almost over. It's almost time for us to get back to work. The truth tellers in the sport, whether on YouTube or whether in the mainstream, which there isn't many. I have seen the disrespect of Clarissa Shields at an all-time high. I have seen the disrespect of Devin Haney at an all-time high. And I don't want people to be fooled on what's happening right now. I don't want people to miss what is right in front of you, what is happening in your face. And because of your self-hate, because of your bitterness and your contentious spirit, you are not seeing clearly. But that's how sin works. That's how ugliness works. It blinds your sight. What we should be talking about right now, shout out to Queen Tay Tay in the building. What we should be talking about right now is, why can Max Kellerman disrespect Canelo Alvarez the way he disrespected him, and people not go after Max? How is it a commentator can come to a boxing event and promote the UFC on the level, not just UFC, promote Dana White as a better businessman and promoter in front of the men who brought you back from the shadows? What a slap in their face. But you all don't have any smoke for him. You all don't remove his press pass. You all don't even bother to make it an issue. One brave reporter asked him a question. He said, man, how does it feel about you getting into it with Canelo? And in his cynical tone, in his pompous fashion, again, he has shown who he is and what he is. But I'm still seeing the disrespect of our top fighters. Today I saw a post disrespecting the GOAT, Clarissa Shields. This thread was a hate thread. Her body was disfigured with AI. They shaped her face to look almost like a dog. And there was talks of how she needed to be humbled. She needed to be humbled. Our brother Drew Titan was speaking about that word humble in the sport of boxing earlier. What does that mean? And how come when non-black fighters lose, you never hear, well, he was finally humbled. He was finally put in his place. You see? Some of you are so bitter inside, you don't see what's in between the lines. No one has mean saying Canelo was finally humbled. No one is saying Ryan Garcia was finally humbled. Tyson Fury was finally humbled. As outspoken Tyson Fury is, you didn't see that once in any article. They can't drag Crawford. So what do? Now they're making all of these posts about his issues with his baby mother. But these are the same people who were just praising the so-called Black American fighter. Like Sean Zattel said, the black man that comes from the trenches, from the hood, with that underdog story. This is all cap. This is all pure hypocrisy. And if we don't see it, we're going to be right back where we were last year. Scraping as Black American boxing fans for respect once again. Because we refuse to respect each other. Patrice X said, yet Ryan Garcia abandoned his baby mother on the day she gave birth. That will never be the narrative. They won't even bring it up in the sport. And it's worse stories than that. But they're not going to bring it up. So what is this about? What is going on? Now I'm seeing Terrence Crawford, they're saying, needs to go fight David Benavidez to be great. And this is coming from some of our own brothers. Has he not done enough? Has he not shown you enough that he is great? What more does your brother have to do for you to get that coon germ out of your spine and get on cold? You hate your brother that much? How much divine timing do you all have to see in the sport of boxing for things to change? What did I say months ago? I said every single one of these fighters will get a wake-up call. And before the year was out, who was getting the same disrespect that Devin Haney was getting? Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Terrence Crawford, Rampage Jackson. Who remembers the parts that those people played when they were lynching Devin Haney in the media? And what did I say? What did the general say? What did Drew say? We all said it together on the panel. I remember like it was yesterday. You reap what you sow. It doesn't matter what man thinks. You can be the most popular man in the world, but you cannot run and hide from God's consequence. You cannot run from what you have sown over and over again. So now people are saying, well, you all see Devin. He's shaking hands with Tio. You all see Devin. He's shaking hands with Ryan. What about that? What about that? What about it? You all were silent when they were going on racist rants. What about it? And when we were telling you to be on code and stand up, you all refused to. So now that you see him shaking Ryan Garcia's hand to do business, who are you to try to tell somebody about being on code? You should be quiet. You are in no moral or spiritual position to talk to somebody about doing something that you refuse to do over and over again. All of these brothers over the last few weeks who went out their way to smile and cheese and root for Canelo. How disgusting. How weak and spineless and cowardly we look to our women and children doing that. Big swole black athletes smiling and cheesing, showing all their teeth. I'm going for Canelo. Whole time, every other race is on code. So those of us, hell yeah, we were happy. Hell yeah, we were proud that our man won. Wearing the red, black, and green shorts. Something that went over a lot of people's heads. Now I'm going to show you a hypocrite and a liar. I'm going to show you a Judas. A hypocrite is so much more dangerous than someone that you know doesn't like you. Do you know why? The hypocrite and the person that's really hating you in their heart, they're a lot more dangerous because you allow them around you. You let them around your children. Some of you let them around your wives. Whole time, they have alternative motives in their wicked mind. And these are the kind of men that we have among us in the sport of boxing. That's right, Jose Diaz. They are untrustworthy. And every time we try to do something, every time we try to be unified, we have backbiting Negroes who rather hate to feel closer to whiteness than to just stand up. Anyone who is saying that we don't come from a lineage of strong warriors, I want you to look at the black Americans in some of these pictures in the slideshow. The black Cubans in some of the pictures in this slideshow. Some as old as 1960. Actually, one of them is from the 1700s. All the way up to present day. Adam, salute. I'm a first timer. Are you boxing or UFC podcast? This is boxing. I speak about boxing. But because Dana White is so close to the sport of boxing now, you will hear more boxing podcasters and journalists and commentators speak about the part that he is going to play in the sport. But you are welcome. What we should be talking about, for those who love the sport, we should be talking about how do we allow a commentator from the UFC do a better job, really, than Max and Ward. And I'm going to tell you how it happened and what the repercussions are going to be. First of all, John did a great job of blow-by-blow commentary throughout the whole Canelo versus Crawford fight. Now, there's a lot of people. Salute Mind Mansa Musa in the house. One of my moderators, please give Mind of Mansa Musa a wrench. If not, I'll do it myself in a second. Mind of Mansa Musa says, salute to my brother, the commander, my comrade, peace and abundance, King, black love. Salute to you, brother. But a lot of people think that the battle is over and it's far from over. John puts on a great job of calling it blow by blow. Andre Ward is already sick of Max Kellerman constantly going against what he's saying, going against what he knows as a fighter. So it gets to the point, if you all go back and watch the fight, there's long periods of time Ward not even talking. Ward just like, you know what, man? I'm gonna let Max and John go at it. And John ran circles around Max whole time. You mean to tell me we have Teddy Atlas in the back? What are we doing? What the hell are we doing? I got him, fam. I got him. Patrice X, you should be able. I'm about to do something real quick, Patrice. So Patrice X, your wrench is going to go away for a few seconds. I'm going to make you a managing moderator. So moving forward, you should be able to do that. Jose Diaz, you're right in the exact. Max is full of crap. Boxing brings you back from the shadows, and you sit up there during one of our biggest events in the last 10 years and represent for a company that has never gave you a chance. Let me say it again. You come up here around us after we give you another chance, and you rep for the UFC harder than the one that's actually paying you right now. But don't nobody say nothing about it. But let one of us go in one of these press conferences and ask the wrong question that rubs somebody the wrong way. Did you all see who the WBC just still named their number one at 168? Salute, fam. The WBC said that they're not going to remove Canelo's place as their number one. And someone said something about, well, they don't know if Crawford is going to stay at 168 or not. So what? I call hypocrisy. See, we have to look at what's going on. Certain fighters can do some things, and they give them months. They give them years to move at their own pace. Other fighters, they put them right back into the lion's den. See, people are saying Billy and Martinez was a great fight, right? Billy just came off of a great fight, and they said you immediately need to fight your mandatory in Martinez. Salute Mac of the South in the house. After the way Max Kellerman was riding Dana White's meat, pause, he wouldn't be doing another event at that level. People saying, oh, this reminds me of the HBO days. This reminds me of... No, it doesn't. Because when you are around certain people and you talk a certain dialect, you seem smarter than what you really are sometimes. See, Max Kellerman seemed very smart sitting next to Larry Merchant and Jim Lampley, because he could feed off of them. He could bounce off of them. But when Ward stopped talking, you all saw what happened. John A., I don't know how to pronounce his last name, John A. from the UFC ran circles around Max. And you could see it. And you can see how upset he was when Crawford took that punch from Canelo well. But they sitting up here on so-called boxing platforms talking about Devin Haney suing his baby mama. What business of that is yours? What does that have to do with the sport of boxing and it being propelled? I'm going to tell you why the UFC is about to run circles around the sport of boxing. because we keep allowing this diva BS going on. We refuse to unify, and we're going to pay a price for it. We should be defending Terrence Crawford on all fronts. If they say Canelo was getting old, nope, I don't want to hear it. Whatever excuse they're saying, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it because that's our champion. Because if your champion would have beat ours, you all wouldn't want to hear any excuses. Nothing about he came up in weight. Nothing about he was chasing greatness. You all will be dragging us. And we wouldn't hear the end of it. Salute to the Dirt Gang boss in the house. We would not be hearing the end of it. Y'all hear me? But we keep getting played because we refuse to acknowledge it. And I constantly have to deal with our brothers just being spineless. I seen one brother on Facebook. He made a clip of a punch that Canelo landed and basically painted a narrative that is how the whole fight was going. I said, brother, what is wrong with you? So someone exposed him and said, yeah, he lost some money. And I said, all right, dude, you lost some money, but so what? What are you doing right now? Our children, for once in a long time, got somebody in the entertainment world that they can say, man, look at that warrior. Look at that man standing up. Look at that man with his black wife and his black children representing us in a good light. And here you come trying to throw dirt on it. We have to get them from among us. And people were saying last week, Coach, sometimes you take it too serious. I don't take it serious enough. These same brothers who were coming in these chats last week saying, he, ha ha, well, I want Crawford to win, but I'm rooting for Canelo, he. And then I haven't seen any of them. So you all were lying the whole time. You all have a spirit of contentiousness in you. You have a Judas-like mind because you say one thing, but you really mean another. And people say, damn, I don't understand why Coach going off like this. You all don't see why? That person is dangerous. You don't see why? That is the kind of person to tell people who want to harm us where we're meeting at, what our plans are. When we're saying, hey, y'all, let's have a get together and go to this fight together. Whole time you have an agent of chaos among you and nobody's taking it serious enough. Patrice X said, dude at the gym today tried blaming Canelo's beard for why he was slow. Disgusting. Mac of the South, fighter of the year. Crawford. But watch they try to hate Crawford on this award. Man, you know it's coming. That's right, Patrice X. We need to build statues of our fighters standing over theirs like they did with Fury after Wilder fight. They would have a fit, Patrice X. They would have a fit, and they would try to knock it down. They built a statue of Deontay Wilder in Alabama. People had a problem with that. They're playing both sides of the fence. Coach, you got to get my number one, got so many videos. I got you, fam. But these people cannot be trusted. You cannot listen to me, family. You should never trust a man who is double-minded and double-tongued. Salute Black Martial Arts Society in the house. Why ain't nobody standing up and defending our sister Clarissa? Why are they allowing these blogs to just drag her and nobody say a damn thing about it? Because a lot of these brothers are spineless. But you better not say nothing about Canelo. You better not say nothing about Usyk. You better not say nothing about Fury. Scared to death. You better not say nothing about Manny Pacquiao, no matter how old he is. But it's open season on us. Weak-minded. Weak-blooded. Post-traumatic slave disorder. That's right, Mac of the South. Mac of the South said, and she always standing up for fighters, going to events, fights, press conferences. And you all don't come to her aid. You don't come to her defense. I watched sisters drag Clarissa Shields all over social media. And look at the hypocrisy. Cardi B leaves her husband and becomes a baby mama to another already baby daddy, and you will have no smoke for her. But you want to drag Clarissa Shields because you say Papoose is still married. You all didn't have any smoke for Remy Ma when she cheated on him. So my thing is, what are we doing? You all are trying to get upset with Clarissa because she's just correcting you and saying, hey, they're not the first boxer to do that. They're the first male boxer to do it. Has she not earned the right to do that? Two-time Olympic gold medalist? Has she not earned the right to do that? Patrice X said, same wicked energy happening in boxing you see rising in this country. We need to wake up and see what's coming. Exactly. Clarissa changed the game for women boxing today. Give her flowers. Fact. What the hell is going on? Your sister getting jumped on and you don't say nothing. What the hell is going on? Where is your courage? Where is your cultural pride? You all use the righteous name of Jesus, the righteous name of Yeshua, to shield your cowardice and your weakness, instead of getting ready to prepare and defend them against those who want to harm them. But you too busy out here battling with each other, trying to gangbang on each other. They have unleashed and allowed the ravenous beast into our communities, prepared with their mouths full, thirsty for blood. But you all don't want to stand up. And to some of these liberals in the sport of boxing who are praising us now, I see you too. I see you for who you are and what you have already shown us who you are. And you're not fooling me. You can fool everybody else, but you don't fool me. Now you all are praising the Black American fighter like Terrence Crawford. And these are their words. These are their words that we're praising the Black American fighter now. Well, question. When you all were calling us Tom and Jerry runners a few months ago, where the hell were you then? When you all were trying to lynch Devin Haney, not trying, you were, him and his father. Where were you then? When you all were talking about Abdullah Mason is a runner as well, Shakur Stevenson is a runner as well. You all were disrespecting these young black men every press conference. But now you all are praising the Black American fighter. And all of these men who are speaking up now that black people are praising, they all have platforms on YouTube, and none of them were doing it then. These men are not Howard Cosell. I'm going to get down to it. These men are not Howard Cosell. They come out when it is safe for them. Damn it, I said it. They come out when it's safe for them to be with the brotherhood. And we let them back in with open arms. Teach them the slang. Teach them the culture. Hand them out cookout passes they didn't earn, damn it. But y'all want to sit up here and tell me about Devin Haney and Clarissa Shields. And unfortunately, we have so much self-hate in the community, the closer it gets to Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr., we're going to be acting like straight ninjas again. We're going to be forgetting how unified we felt on Saturday. We're going to be forgetting that black, red, and green Crawford was wearing. A lot of these guys are only getting down with the brotherhood now because it's safe. So they're getting more views. Some black women want to throw some booty at them now. Because you done said a nice thing here and there. Have you all not learned anything by now? Have you all not learned anything by now? How many bad decisions has to happen for us to wake up? You know who used to also talk like Max and used to be invited to the cookout? Bob Arum. Bob Arum came amongst the black Muslims during a time where brothers had to stand up or lay down. Coming around saying the language. Assalamu alaikum. Coming around acting like he was down with the cause. So Hubert Muhammad, Ali Muhammad, they allow him to partner with Top Rank, which was started by the black Muslims in America, the Nation of Islam to be exact. See, you all cannot love one thing and deny the process a person had to go through and not acknowledge it, whether you like it or not. Regardless of what your personal feelings might be about our elders from back in the day, whether you don't like, and I've seen all of the arguments and all of the debates when the conscious community was doing their thing. I've seen you talk about Marcus Garvey and the UNA. I've seen you talk about Noble Drew Ali, your issues with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I understand, but here's the thing. If you ain't got outside and you ain't built nothing to reform the youth, you ain't built nothing to bring our people up, you should be quiet until you do so. And give respect where it's due. Now, if somebody has harmed your family personally and you have personal beef, okay then. But till then, we don't go in front of the world like some coons and disrespect our greats so the rest of the world can say the same thing. They call Martin Luther King Jr. a hoe now because we called him that first. They disrespect our elders because we did it first and made it okay, putting it in movies. So don't talk to me about you just want to take this out of the sport of boxing and just talk boxing. Then just get out the sport. Stop watching it. To feel more camaraderie, the day after the fight, I run into a Mexican brother and he greets me like a warrior and says, I see you. I see you. I get that type of respect from somebody from another tribe. And then I have to come back home and I have to argue and debate with my own brothers. And we keep allowing them among us. We keep saying, oh, well, that's just his opinion. Hey, listen, that's your opinion. Cool. But I want you to know you have a Sambo mind. As a black man, you sure do have a lot of Larry Merchant talking points. See, sometimes I got a talking code for them to understand what they're saying. You hear all of these people doing these interviews saying, Max Kellerman reminds us of HBO. Did you all not remember that was the beginning of the end of boxing on television. HBO gone. Showtime boxing gone. ESPN ends their contract with Top Rank gone. Do you all not understand what a sport of boxing would be right now if it wasn't for Turkey and Dana White and Netflix? Eddie Hearn is not an ally. Stop using that man as some type of shield. I see these brothers day and night. Well, Eddie Hearn. Well, you know, Bob Arum said, man, them people don't like you, fool. If you ain't making them money, F you. And unfortunately, some of these boxers feel the same way. Salute to the family Shelton, LDBC or nothing reloaded. God bless the mighty LDBC. What the hell wrong with us? You got to show the hypocrisy. And as soon as you even look like you're going to be an ally, they on your ass. Go ask Usyk how they handling him right now. They throw you right back in. And Billy Martinez run it back. Look how fast that happened, y'all. Think about this, family. Really think about this. And Billy and Martinez just went to war. And you know what they said? You know what? Y'all run that back immediately. As quick as we can get it, run it back. Now, if Billy, who ain't held nothing too long, has to run back a fight so quick, how come Canelo has not had to do the same? The WBC didn't force him to do it once. Even his close fights that he won. Besides Triple G, when he lost to Floyd, that was it. That close fight he had with Lara, that was it. Loses to Bivol, that was it. And now they want Bud Crawford to go fight David Benavidez. Like my brother Drew said, that's Canelo's work. Jose Diaz said, Alexander said, Terrence Crawford is the best pound for pound today. He said it. I got the video. And he is. Terrence Crawford is the best pound for pound fighter. But let me show you all this hypocrisy real quick. Patrice X, thank you. Patrice X said Loma 2 didn't run back Salido, Tio, or Haney. And what were they calling him? What were they calling Loma? The greatest thing since Ali. Did Bob Arum say that or not? And listen, Black Martial Arts said, even when I criticized Crawford, I had him as number 1 pound for pound. And listen, y'all, I want you to know that, fam, I'll put it in the chat in a second. I want you all to know that it's okay for us to criticize our fighters. But it's not okay to be a hypocrite. It's not okay to use the criteria on one fighter and not the other over and over again. Family, I'm going to put because one of our brothers asked my Cash App in the chat. The same picture you all see on my channel, that's me in the boxing ring. That's the same picture I have on my Cash App. But I appreciate you, brother. I wasn't even thinking about that. So I appreciate you. But let me show you all this hypocrisy real quick. Now watch this. See, somebody has to get in front of Max Kellerman and ask him the right questions. Now watch this. Max Kellerman got up there and said, Mexicans have saved boxing and have been saving boxing. Did he or did he not say that? Did Max not say that Mexicans have been saving and running the sport. Okay, cool. So if that's the case, Max, if that's the case, mainstream media, why does Crawford need to go fight David Benavidez, who is a black man? Why don't you all push for the other Mexican who's already up there to fight him? See, I keep telling y'all, once you learn the tricknology of a devil, you know how to ask him the right questions. You know how to pour the truth on that devil and watch him shake. Salute, Queen Tay-Tay. I'm asking you all an honest question. Look at the hypocrisy of it all. Look at the hypocrisy. You all said, in mainstream media, you all said the Latino brothers and sisters have been keeping boxing afloat because we ain't worth a damn. Even though we have sold out every major fight on the East Coast, excluding New York. But if any fight has come to the DMV, the Midwest, or down south, we have sold it out. Not only did we sell it out, more reason you should put respect on Clarissa Shields' name is, for the first time in boxing history, 70% of the sales that were sold at her last fight were bought and purchased by women, black women. Wait a minute. But I thought you said, okay, I know my people can critically think, so I don't have to keep repeating that. So if that is the case, why does the black man, Terrence Crawford, have to go up there and do it? And listen, for those who watch my channel, and you say, oh, this is a race thing. Listen, boxing is a tribal sport. And right now, I have to defend my tribe. So if you are an ally, you just sit tight. Sit tight, because I have to defend some things real quick. The same way I expect your tribes to deal with the way Max Kellerman used those microaggressions against Canelo when Canelo was trying to tell him to shut his ass up talking about boxing ain't big anymore. When you're sitting here on this stage, getting paid on this stage, because two of the greatest fighters that we have today are about to fight, and big time boxing decided to bring you back. The same way Deontay Wilder told Fury, don't you ever disrespect me, when the mainstream wanted to bury you and didn't want to bring you back. Don't you ever forget I'm the one who brought you back to big time heavyweight boxing. Someone needs to talk some sense into Max Kellerman and tell him the same thing. Don't you ever disrespect us like that. Don't you ever. How dare you? How dare you get up there and then you don't even apologize? Because if you didn't mean it that way, when the person interviewed you that day about it and said, well, how was it getting to it with Canelo? You doubled down on your bullshit. You doubled down on it. That would have been your perfect time to say, you know what I was saying, I didn't mean for it to come out that way. What I was saying is there's some things that are happening in the sport. Let me show you how he should have worded it, instead of riding the coattails of Dana White, who don't give a damn about you. None of them asked you, Max Kellerman, to come and be a commentator for any UFC events. But I'm going to show you all something. Watch this. Now you all get ready to put your light bulbs on. Turkey told Dana White to make an announcement. Dana White looked at him and decided not to. Turkey said, there's a secret, a big announcement Dana's about to make. Now, how much you all want to bet Max Kellerman probably already knows what that secret is? There's no other reason for him to ride that man like that. But see, the good old boy system is always going to be that. Black Martial Arts Society said, there's an old saying in boxing, as the heavyweight division goes, boxing named the Mexican heavyweight champions. We'll be here. Well, that won't take long. That won't take long. Yo Romero, he told me the same exact thing. See? And that's a bad brother. Yo Romero that's
Did you check your wires connection? Yep, they're good. Test, test. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. I don't know why this radio keeps going out. Can't have this thing go out on me. Test, test. Can you hear me? Test, test. Testing, testing. Press 1 if you can hear me. Press 1 in the chat if you can hear me. We good? Loud and proud. Appreciate your family. I thought maybe, seems like when I get to about 55 minutes, it always goes out. So what's the last thing you all heard me say, family? Can you all still hear me? Because if you all still can hear me, that's the webcam. If you can still hear me, yep, that's the webcam. Yeah, I had unplugged. Okay, audio sounds good. So until I figure this microphone situation out, I'm probably going to just speak from the webcam moving forward. But like I was saying, family, they want Crawford to go up and fight Benavidez. They want us to put our bodies on the line, but they don't want to give us the accolades. For Max Kellerman to get up there and say the things that he did was just disgusting. I mean, as soon as Crawford arrived, Max Kellerman started with his BS. And I just feel there has to be a point where we have to put our self-respect before everything else. Straight up. Jose Diaz said, why don't they give Crawford his props? He destroyed Canelo. If they give Crawford his props, there's going to be a shift that they don't want to happen. They don't want that shift. You got to think about, they've invested millions and millions of dollars to portray that basically, unfortunately, that the Mexican fan base and Mexican fighters have basically taken over the sport of boxing. And that's just not true. It's just not true, and it's not going to work. We have already seen what has happened since we have not had any real heavyweights. You know, Black Martial Arts Society said it took $4 million to rob Wilder. See? Listen, you don't have to understand how sick society is. That's built on what it's built on. We had a heavyweight champion. One of the hardest hitting heavyweight champions. And look how they did him. Look how they treated him. Now, have you all ever asked yourself this question? The fighters that we have had a chance to see in our lifetime, on paper, is impossible. If you look at the greats that we have had just since I've been born, it's almost a comic book. We have had Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, Sweet Pea Whitaker, Bernard Hopkins, Lennox Lewis. No, we don't count Lennox. We're just going to stick with Black Americans for a second. We've had Floyd Mayweather. We've had Terrence Crawford. We've had Clarissa Shields. Now, the names that I'm naming are people who are arguably going to go down as some of the best in boxing history. When Jack Johnson was gone, respectfully, any great Mexican you can name, I can name a few black fighters that have done more. Now I'm going to tell you how much they fight against themselves. They try so hard to not mention Salvador Sanchez. They go out their way. These racist elites in the sport of boxing go out of their way to not mention Salvador Sanchez because he wore an afro. He wore an afro and he fought like a black fighter. I'm going to go ahead and say it. But when they ask who the Mexican greats were, they skip right over him and act like he didn't even exist. And he was a better boxer than Julio Cesar Chavez. Straight up. He was a better boxer. Julio Cesar Chavez struggled against slick movements. Taking nothing away from the man, but he did. That's just the truth. But see, the point that I'm making is, imagine you have all that great talent every few generations and y'all still drop the ball. Follow me, family. Think about what I'm saying. You all have been given the plug. You have been given the product. It's on the table. All you got to do is feed the people. And because of their racism, because of their good old boy system, boxing started going down on their watch. Think about that, family. With the fighters that we have had in just my lifetime, boxing should be the highest sport right now. If they would have just handled business right, not been corrupt, boxing would be at the top. Now, some people aren't going to agree with me with what I'm about to say. But between the fighters in your local gyms, in USA Boxing, your professional fighters, your international fighters, we could have exciting fights like in Billy versus Martinez every damn weekend. Every weekend. But these elites in the sport of boxing are not really for the sport. They are for pushing a certain kind of propaganda. Salute Isaiah W. Matter of fact, family, this is what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna keep using the mic to figure the mic out. But our plan B, if it goes out, I know what to do. Go to the webcam speaker. But family, salute Isaiah W. is in the house. Think about that. The elites in the sport of boxing is like the NFL having Tom Brady and not using him. Perfect example. Oh, God is the greatest. What they're doing with Shedeur Sanders is what they've been doing with top black American talent for years. Let me say it again. What they're doing with Shedeur Sanders, they have been doing with top black American fighters for decades. They decide which one is going to get through, which two is going to get through. Top Rank is the American version of Matchroom. What make you say that, Coach? Look at all the top fighters they done had that once they get to a level, they try to put them on a shelf. What's up with that, Bob? Why you do that? I'm going to tell you why. And they're not going to like this. They ain't going to like this shit here. Patrice X said, as soon as they did the European fighters propaganda, push Kovalev, Loma, etc., HBO boxing dissolved. Dissolved. Correct. That is a fact. That is the irrefutable truth. Now, the stories already came out about there used to be a no black fighter type of rule in that man's office. So how do I push my European and my Mexican fighters to the top? Well, first I have to have control of these top black fighters. So this is what we're going to do. You want to get out the hood? Your baby mama need money? Mama need a new house? Cool, so listen. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to sign you $1 million, a few $1 million. That first few million is going to be going like that. So you start doing good. You start going up to the top. As soon as it start looking like their fighter is about to be undisputed, they start their BS. As soon as it starts looking like they're going to be a two-weight champion, undisputed champion, double belt champion, Top Rank start that bullshit. Yep. Watch. You all don't see the pattern. Y'all don't see what's happening. They did it to Floyd. Floyd was ready. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Let me show y'all something. Now, y'all see this book here? This book is by James Prince. It's called The Art of Respect. Okay? In this book, he has a chapter that's just about boxing. And in this book, it's just about his business endeavors and the stuff he had to deal with when dealing with Bob Arum, when he found Ward, when he managed Winky Wright, when he managed Floyd Mayweather. If you get a chance, get this book and read from the eyes of a brother like James Prince. That's a fact, Patrice X. And I'm going to tell you, some of that, I honestly believe, is why Floyd acts the way he acts towards us. Floyd sometimes tries to portray like nobody helped him. But read that book. He go deep into detail about how they didn't know what the hell they was doing. Because they were about to run them through a slave contract. And that is a fact. And you all don't have to take my word for it. Read it for yourselves. The Art of Respect. But look at it, y'all. Look at it. So if I want to push a different type of fighter, I keep telling y'all these are agents of chaos. They are not with us. They are against us. Hold on, family. I like that. I like that. Can you all hear me? Press 1 if you can hear me. Press 1 if you can hear me. Jose Diaz said, it's just being a normal human being. It's parenting, and they jealous. I'm going to tell y'all, family. It's a lot of things going on. And when I'm wrong, I tell you I'm wrong. But I honestly believe that they want to make these fighters into sharecroppers again. Put them all on slave contracts. And tell them what they are and are not going to do. Tell them what their future is going to be. Because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Watch what I tell you. But family, I appreciate everyone who came through today. Everyone who helped me out Y'all can see Coach done came a long way from when I first started going live on my trap phone. We got the webcam, we got the slideshow in the back, we got the microphone that's gonna mess around and get fired on their day off if it don't act right. But we got the microphone. I got the green screen, but I just don't have it hooked up right now. But I got some stuff planned for you all, family. The only thing I got to get left, like my brother Patrice X said, is, look into the little thumbnail Canva joints, and then I'm gonna get the soundboard. My family, I know I done talked you all's ear off. I appreciate everyone that came through. And I will see you all later on in the week. Let me turn this down. I hope you all like the background music. Hope it wasn't too much for you. God bless the mighty LDBC. We all we got, and I am my brother's keeper. And I definitely will let you all know before I go live again. And we're going to keep on cooking, all right? Salute to the family. Salute to my comrades. And it's always smoke to the COINTELPRO boxing fan.